Hi, it's that time again for chapter 20 of Mr. Penguin and the Fortress of Secrets. Caught, red flippered. Mr. Penguin shut the notebook and gulped. Yikes! Whatever he thought might have been going on in the fortress, he never imagined it would be as mad and as dangerous as this. Even Colin, who was never really rattled by anything, looked a bit green under his monobrow. Mr. Penguin and Colin stood blinking at each other. What were they going to do? They were up against someone who was both completely bonkers and utterly dastardly. A sudden noise in the chamber made them jump. Behind them, a concealed door in the wall of the chamber, that had been pretending to be an enormous ingle nook fireplace, swung open. Well, 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 what do we have here? Snarled a voice that didn't sound at all like it was going to offer them a nice cup of tea and a donkey biscuit. Mr. Penguin and Colin frizzled on the spot. Someone was standing in the hidden entrance, silhouetted against the harsh electric light. We'll continue with chapter 21, as that was quite a short one. An appointment with the doctor. The stranger in black thought Mr. Penguin with a tremble. It's him. But it wasn't him. In fact, it wasn't him at all. The clip-clock of heels echoed around the chamber as a woman stalked out from the hidden entrance. Slamming the door shut behind her, she had blonde ringlets, and her face was heavily covered in makeup, with two bright pink circles on her cheeks, and a splattering of painted-on freckles. Her mouth was a bright red slash that was smiling, but not in a happy, cheerful way. She looks like she's never eaten a fish finger sandwich in her entire life, thought Mr. Penguin, continuing to ogle. The woman was wearing what looked like an old stage costume, a frilly satin dress that was slightly too small for her and covered in dirty splodges of engine oil. Her eyes were hidden behind a pair of thick sunglasses. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" she hissed. Spluttered Mr. Penguin. "We're just, tidying," said Colin's pad. "Yes," said Mr. Penguin, "tidying, look." To prove his point, he carefully moved a pencil on the desk in front of him, so it lined up neatly with another. Then he smiled his best beaky smile. The woman opened her mouth to say something, but instead she suddenly shrieked. "My dastardly plan!" she yelled, spotting a notebook tucked under Mr. Penguin's flipper. "You've read all about it, haven't you?" Dr. Mesmero leaned forwards. Mr. Penguin and Colin peered at them from behind her dark glasses. "Wait, I know you," she muttered. "I've seen you before." She grinned a crocodile-like grin. "Well, if it isn't the famous adventurer and penguin, Mr. Penguin, and his little friend the spider too," she cried. Colin held up his pad. "Hello, my name is Colin." "I've read all about you," she said, "in the Cityville newspaper." She folded her arms and continued to glare at her visitors. "Let me guess. You've come here to try and stop me taking over the world," she snorted. "You'll never succeed." Now give me my notebook. Mr. Penguin hid her notebook behind his back and puffed his chest out. Never, he said. We've come to rescue our friend Gordon and all the other animals you've stolen. Even though he'd wanted to say it in a very brave sort of voice, it came out all wobbly like a jelly. I see, said Dr. Mesmero, and she went to snatch the book. But, run, Mr. Penguin, said Colin's pad. Mr. Penguin didn't need telling twice. He ducked away from Dr. Mesmero, and he and Colin set off. They ran around the room in circles, with Dr. Mesmero chasing round and round. First one way, then the other. This went on for approximately 10 minutes, until Dr. Mesmero stopped on one side of the room, and the adventurers on the other. This is ridiculous, she said, and she clapped her hands. The hidden door swung open again, and two very long, very hypnotised snakes wiggled into the room. Seize them! Cried Dr. Mesmero. Before Mr. Penguin and Colin could move, the snakes had zipped across the room and wrapped themselves around the adventurers like living, slithery ropes. Mr. Penguin and Colin were trapped. And that's the end of chapter 21.